Let's get back to our FX chain. In this and the next few videos, we're going to go through and create the entire FX chain for narration. And we start here with our noise reduction plugins. I'm going to assume for this section that you've picked up RX11 Elements or Standard. So if you haven't or have a different plugin or method for noise reduction, you can jump to the next video instead. We're going to focus on two stages of noise reduction, one to reduce background noise and thus improve the noise floor, and the other to reduce our own noise, namely all our mouth sounds. Start by putting an instance of voice denoise on the recording track, like this. Search for it in the FX browser, which is at the bottom. Drag it up to the recording track, above the rear gate, and apply the following settings. Mode, adaptive should be ticked. Type, dialogue. Quality, gentle. And reduction 12, although if you are going to tweak any of the settings, this is the one to touch. We're using adaptive mode because it automatically adjusts to changing background noise, making it the best option if you're recording in a non-soundproof environment. However, if you're in a fully soundproof booth, adaptive mode isn't necessary. You'll get better results by using learned mode, which has less impact on your voice. You use that by starting to play audio, click learn, wait a few seconds, and then click learn again. And instead of using adaptive mode, it will have learnt the pattern that it will reduce noise from. As always, let's save this as a preset and then set it as the default. I will save it with the name of my microphone followed by the word narration and click the plus again. Save preset as default, and click OK. Next, we're going to use mouth declick to remove mouth noises, although if you only have RX Elements, stick around a bit and I'll come back to a solution for you. Some microphones are really prone to picking up mouth noises. I'm not sure why, but even when using one that is generally good at hiding them, I think the one I'm using now is pretty good, nothing is going to completely eliminate them. So let's put an instance of mouth declick into the chain. Again, it goes above the rear gate we put earlier, so just drag it up a little bit. We're going to set sensitivity to 5. Click widening is going to be set to 2. And frequency skew could be somewhere between -2 and +2, and you'll probably want to play around this a bit based on your own mouth noises. I generally now leave it at 0. I've played around a lot with this plugin, running it as a single instance or multiple instances, which is actually what Isotope sometimes recommends doing. I've tried less widening, more widening, and this is what has sounded best for me. It doesn't mean it's going to be right for you. And although I don't recommend reducing the click widening, you might want to increase it. Also, the lower you can get the sensitivity while still eliminating all of your mouth noises, the more transparent the effect and the less the sound of your voice risks being affected in a noticeable way. Again, save this as a preset. In fact, I won't save it as my microphone name followed by narration. I'm just going to save it as all microphones narration because I actually use this setting for every single microphone. And then save preset as default. Click OK. If you only have RX Elements, you won't have access to mouth declick, but you can still use declick as an alternative. While declick is designed for general clicks and pops, like vinyl pops or digital artifacts, it can still remove some mouth noises. It's not as precise as mouth declick, but it is the best option available in RX Elements. So drag declick up to the FX chain. It goes above rear gate, obviously. Turn this one off as in this circumstance you are using declick instead of mouth declick. and apply the following settings. Sensitivity, as before, goes to 5. Click widening, again, goes to 2. And then change algorithm to low latency, leave frequency skew in the middle. Again, you may want to change this to somewhere between -2 and +2. Let's save this preset as standard narration. No, sorry. Let's save it as all microphones. Narration. And save it as default. Mouth declick is always the better choice if you have RX standard or above, but declick is a solid alternative if you don't. There is one more thing about declick that you need to think about, which you do not need to worry about if you're using mouth declick, and that's the algorithm used. There are 4 algorithms in the drop-down box, but only 2 are relevant to us. Unless you're just about to render your audio, keep it on low latency mode, otherwise you're going to hit problems with your audio skipping and jumping when you listen to your audio. I've not even tried using it while recording, but I suspect it might be even worse. Unfortunately, this does mean you've got no way of actually hearing declick at its best before you render. Before you render your audio, you need to switch the algorithm to multi-band random clicks mode. It's more precise and it catches more subtle clicks. It's really worth noting, though, that declick isn't as good as mouth declick, and the impact on your rendering speed is significant when using the multi-band random clicks algorithm. But that is it for the noise reduction step, and I'll see you in the next video.